All right. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome. That's almost a tongue twister. My God. Hey, thank you guys for the likes. Let's see if we can get that like to 10 likes tonight, as usual, with that goal. But first, before we begin, I want to give a shout out to you all because we are officially at well, not officially, we're almost at 500 subscribers. That's right, we're at 495 subs and we only have 5 left. And so if you guys are watching, if you aren't subscribed, I don't know why you wouldn't be, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. And on top of that, once you hit that subscribe button, a bell icon will pop up and show on your screen, and click on that as well so that you are notified when I am live like tonight or when I have uploaded a new video like yesterday. Okay, so again, thank you all so much for your continued support, your comments, your likes, or just simply showing up to these streams, because it really helps out with the YouTube algorithm and really helps out with YouTube basically, saying that, hey, my content is being watched, right? People are enjoying what I have to say, and that YouTube will help kind of spread my content out towards the rest of the people who aren't engaged with Charts Focus One's content. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart, or all of my heart, I should say, for 495 subs. We're again so close to the $500 number. I'm like still speaking in terms of stock prices, but all right. So with that in mind, let's begin this stream. So I just want to really just go over kind of my outlook for commodities, right? Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome in. Hey, you guys are finally joining in. Hey, you guys have missed out on some stuff, so make sure you guys watch the beginning of this replay, all right, when it's available, and it will be available right after the stream is over. Okay, so again, please watch the very beginning of the stream, because I have some pretty important things to say, or I have said pretty important things. Okay, so regarding the title of the stream, right, or the question rather, why is 2025 the year to buy commodities? Okay, well, first of all, we've been specifically looking at FCX, which is a copper name. It's a copper metal, right? It's a specific type of metal. Okay, and we've also been looking at silver, which you guys just saw right now, right? Let me just take out all the technical analysis there. And so currently we are seeing commodities that have been lagging for the large part of last year, or at least the past 2 years, and we're finally seeing some heavy inflow into some of these lagging commodities, just like copper here, or FCX. Now, if you guys have not seen the actual technical analysis video that I've done for my private CFO Swing and Watch report readers and members for Sunday, make sure you guys go onto the channel here at Charts Focus One and watch the most recently uploaded video. It's going to be all about FCX and the other ticker that was provided as the swing trade ideas for this specific trading week. Okay, so FCX, obviously this name has been lagging for the past 3 years, since 2021 all the way up into 2024, and copper prices have been slowly accelerating to the top side, right? They've been slowly accelerating to the upside, and FCX should be benefiting from that, because again, they are producers of copper. They don't use copper to manufacture, right? They don't buy copper from a producer and manufacture something like a product or whatever it is that they make, but rather this company actually produces copper. So with higher prices for copper, there is a good chance that this company can make higher profit margins on each amount of copper that they sell. I don't know how they sell copper, but FCX will most definitely benefit from that. Now, on this monthly time frame, again, this is simply showing that copper has been, well, specifically FCX, has been moving sideways for 3 years. And so there could be a potential massive breakout to the upside and potentially retest the 60s here, which was the previous all-time highs that we saw, or the all-time high level that we saw back in 2007, 2008, right, and now 2011 as well. So let me actually mark it down here. Okay. Oh. So show up. There it is. Right. Oh boy. Okay. So with that being said, all right. There's another reason why we need to be looking at commodities. So okay, let's take a look at the US dollar. Right? So the US dollar has been absolutely decimated for the past 2 months, including this month. And there's a lot of factors that obviously, go into the action of the US dollar, right? This specific world reserve currency, obviously. And to me, for this specific side of the market, when it's regarding the relationship to commodities, I just look at it very simply. If the dollar goes down, the commodities have a chance to go up. All right, it's not a really direct inverse relationship. I know a lot of people out there also have a thesis that it's not even correlated like that inversely. But I'm just going to look at it very simply, not in a very complex way, because again, we're just here to analyze to make profits. Right, we analyze to make profits. So when it comes to the correlation to commodities and the US dollar, this specific currency, we want to or tend to look at it in that manner, right? When the US dollar goes down, or especially when it begins to move very rapidly to the downside, like we saw in the beginning of this month, we tend to see a lot of investors going towards safe havens like commodities like silver, gold, other precious metals, right? Precious metals like copper here, or steel. Okay, and this is important because it seems like people are still heavily hedging themselves for the long-term portfolio in the event that they see some heavy economic contraction later into this year that leads into an official economic recession into early next year. Okay, and there's a report that just came out. I think it was a survey of about, I don't know, I don't really remember what the exact number was, but I think it was in the hundreds of CFOs, not charts focus one, but okay, again, not charts focus one, but chief financial officers. They were answering this survey, and most of them have replied that they're expecting an official US economic recession at the second half of this fiscal year. So in that perspective, and from my own interpretation, that usually means that we're going to be seeing an economic recession a little more, I guess, after the time frame that they've chosen, right? So basically, I think personally, again, this is just it's not really a speculation, but from a subjective perspective, based on what I've seen so far from data points and reports and economic reports specifically, I would say that we should be heading towards an official US economic recession in early 2026. All right, so that I'm trying to choose my words carefully so that people aren't getting freaked out or people are going to be angry at me for some reason for saying this. But again, it is what it is, right? So my apologies if I'm being a little bit slow with my words. I'm just trying to choose my words carefully here. With that being said, okay, obviously there's a lot of stuff that will, a lot of factors that go into the US dollar that drives the price lower or higher. But there's one specific thing that I'm looking at for the US dollar, right? So the US dollar can also provide us with whether or not we should be risk on with risky US equities, right, or assets, and it can really help us understand, where the trend of the overall equity markets can be heading towards to as well. And so for now, with the US dollar kind of rebounding back, a very small rebound compared to the huge flush that we saw earlier this month, right? It is providing some sort of a relief for the US dollar. But at the same time, again, that correlation between commodities and safe havens specifically to the US dollar is not perfect. And like I've said before, there are a lot of people out there who have a thesis that there's really not a huge inverse correlation to commodities and the US dollar, but it is what it is. And so if I take a look at silver, right, silver has been blasting to the upside, even though the US dollar has begun to kind of base here and starting to have a nice small bounce. And today, silver had a very nice good gap up, leading to a performance of 2.07% to close the day. So to me, this is just simply the buying demand that we're still seeing on major safe haven commodities like silver, and this should continue even if the US dollar continues to rebound higher. But again, this US dollar rebound is just a small bounce that is a part of a larger downtrend, which is why we need to be looking at commodities for this entire fiscal year, especially if the US dollar has already flushed this quickly to the downside at the beginning of this fiscal year and at Q1 of this year as well. Right, and that's also, we're nearing the end of Q1, so the US dollar performance is not looking too hot for the first quarter of this year. And so to me, the first quarter, well, to a lot of people out there, not just me, like institutions, the first quarter performance is very, very telling as to how the current underlying asset will perform. So stuff like the dollar, with Q1 being just absolutely horrendous, it makes you think that the opposite, where commodities could potentially have some record-breaking moves for this fiscal year. And there's one thing that you guys have to remember, okay? Commodities have a hard time finding bottoms and tops. So what does that mean? Well, it just simply means that commodities can really move based on demand and supply, because that's kind of essentially what it is, right? Prices move based on demand and supply. Now, I'm not really too familiar with the exact mechanics of that behind commodities, but overall, right? Commodities like silver, copper, aluminum, steel, right? All these producers of specific commodities like precious metals are just waiting. They all seem to be, based on my scans, seem to be waiting for more of a confirmation from either the US dollar or from other, I guess, other catalysts for individual companies that are within or work within the precious metal producing industry. But overall, to me, this US dollar move lower to start out this fiscal year just clearly tells me that both institutions and retail traders are being a lot more cautious into this new year. And it just seems like all the charts that I've seen on SLV, right, gold, okay, or even just simply stocks like X, which is United States Steel, right? So it's a steel name, or even STLD, right? Which is, if it could load here. Give me 1 second, guys. Right, so Steel Dynamics, okay, they're all looking to be poised to really just have a massive run up after consolidating for 1+ years is what I would say. So minimum 1 year, but average about 1.5 to 2 years of consolidation is what I've been seeing across multiple different precious metals names, right? And to me, this is something that we should be looking out for, because again, commodities have a hard time finding tops and bottoms. So when they run, right, to either side. And the supply and demand mechanics and how they work also have a heavy factor into that as well. And so when there's a lot of buying fervor going to a commodity, it might just continue, just like what we saw with gold. Right, gold has been running up since 2022. Okay, if it'll load again. Okay, so to me, this is just something. Yeah, so since 2022, right, after that nice flush, okay, just straight up, right. So it seems like that there is just an overall bullish sentiment that is touching every single precious metal group, and we should all be looking out for all of these specific especially leading tickers in each single group, like FCX. FCX is one of the leading tickers in the overall copper producing industry, right? And also SCCO as well. Okay, this is the other big corporation, the Southern Copper Corporation, that also looks very, very good to break out to the upside. Right, this is all on monthly time frame charts, guys. Right, and all of them look extremely poised and extremely ready to have a massive run up. And depending on what the catalyst is that it essentially starts that massive breakout to the upside. I don't really know what it will be, but the US dollar, again, is just confirming that, hey, we should be looking at commodities for this entire fiscal year, right? And there's just a lot of headwinds that have completely been put behind a lot of these precious metal names, and they're most likely turning into from headwinds to tailwinds, right? So specifically, like silver and gold, right? There have been a lot of tailwinds on these precious metals, specifically these leading safe haven metals, right? Silver and gold are always considered the safe haven duo, and it makes sense because we're still seeing stubborn inflation, right? People are now becoming extremely scared about inflation staying, which could potentially lead into an elongated period of where the Federal Reserve is not able to bring down inflation to that 2% target and even keep it at 2% target. So even the fear alone, that sentiment alone that the Federal Reserve might not be able to keep inflation at that 2% target is giving more inflows to the safe haven duo like silver and gold, right? Now, what's also interesting is that when I'm specifically talking about silver, we're kind of seeing this divergence between silver and gold. So let me actually give you guys a very quick look at the performance so far between silver and gold. Okay, so let me actually add, right? Oh, if it will, there it is. Okay, let me actually do a actually, no, this should be working, so I don't know why. Okay, no, it's not working for me right now. But if I do gold, right, over silver, right? I mean, look at this. Right, look at this chart here. Look at the monthly time frame on gold over silver, right? This ratio here, right? I mean, silver has a lot of room to move, right? If you just take a look at the opposite ratio, silver over gold, right? I mean, there's a lot of room for silver to run, right? There's a lot of room for silver to run to catch up, essentially, to gold. Okay, so if you take, oh no, I don't look at gold. I'm trying to look at silver. So silver on the monthly time frame just has this massive coiling action with higher highs and higher lows, which I like a lot, but it has been a very, very slow mover, and you have to be very, very patient with how silver moves. And so if I bring back my SMAs here, right, this is just an overall expanse, right? This expansion mode or phase as it continues to break out from that massive resistance level that it saw in 2023 at the level $23, right? So this continued uptrend in silver should persist because option flows continue to show that people are continuously buying further and further out contracts, and also further out the money contracts as well. And this is these are two levels that I've actually put on last year, believe it or not. Right, 34 and 36, and option flows are still targeting these two specific levels and anything in between as well, right? So 34, 35, 36. But now, based on the current option flows that we've been seeing for the past 2 months, more specifically what I've been seeing, we're seeing contracts being either rolled up higher, or they're simply buying new positions on silver targeting the 40s. Right, they're targeting the 40s here, and so to me, something significant must be occurring this year, maybe the last half of this year. Maybe these are the CFOs who have told us through their surveys that through that specific survey that came out that they're worried about an official recession occurring in the last half of this fiscal year. But then again, as I've explained it earlier, that usually to me tells me that they're probably saying that a little bit too early, and an official U.S. economic recession will most likely occur in the early year of 2026. Okay, not the actual second half of this fiscal year of 2025. Okay, now obviously I could be completely wrong, and the CFOs can be completely right on time with that, but to me, it just seems and feels that way based on all the data that I've seen so far and every analyzed data that I've seen so far as well. Okay, so again, silver here, definitely something to look out for, and obviously, right, tickers like leading copper names, right, SCCO. If you take a look at their monthly time frames, okay, they're all coiling and tightening up to what it seems like it's going to be a multi-month, maybe even a multi-year rally, where all commodities that have been either lagging for the last 1.5 to 2 years will finally get another leg up higher. And again, what did I say earlier, guys? Right? I've been saying that all the precious metals that I've grown accustomed to look at in the past couple years, they've all began to coil, and they've all consolidated for at least a year, minimum a year, average 1.5 to 2 years. Just take a look on the monthly time frame for any popular precious metals names, especially the leading tickers in those specific groups. So for example, again, like I'm showing you here, copper, right, SCCO or even FCX, and you guys will clearly see what I'm saying. Right, and again, a lot of people tend to just overlook these time frames because they think it's not really important, but these are great ways to be looking at and a developing and underlying trend that most people aren't seeing. Right, so again, this is a pretty important live stream here. Now that I've said that, right, it's a very, very important live stream. And so the US dollar, again, will continue to go down, which will provide further bullish fervor and bids towards the safe haven precious metals. Again, we obviously have the main duo, gold and silver, so I'm most likely going to be looking at silver first, since silver has a lot of room to catch up to its counterpart, gold, and obviously all the other precious metals that I'll be continuously monitoring and also mentioning weeks down the line here, right? But specifically, I wanted to give you guys FCX, since you guys are now able to watch the then private but now public CFO Swing and Watch Report technical analysis video that has officially been uploaded yesterday. Okay, so make sure you guys take a look at that video on this channel. Right now, regarding these precious metals or these safe havens, right? They just seem very, very undervalued because of the fact that they've all been consolidating for a long time, and this current administration has also been basically touting for the US dollar to go down. And if you guys remember, the US dollar plunged well, it began to plunge actually in February and all the way up into March as tariff fears loomed over, and officially the tariffs became true as the overall Trump administration agreed on these tariffs and they implemented those tariffs, and the US dollar came plunging down, right? And that means other international currencies have been doing pretty well, right? Well, based on, if you guys just take a look at their own charts. Right? So and if you guys know anything about the foreign exchange market, you guys will know what I'm talking about as well. So you know, it's a balancing game here at this point with regarding the US dollar, but from a technical analysis perspective, the US dollar has been moving down and it's still in a heavy down trend. And so in that case, again, that just means simply for us, we need to be taking a look at these commodities here, right? These precious metals that will potentially have a lot of room to the upside and a lot of energy to break out to the upside for the next big leg up higher on all the higher time frames, like the weekly and the monthly time frames that I've been showing you guys throughout this live tonight. And so as a little disclaimer, I am long FCX, okay? I'm long stock and I'm long options as well. And I think on options alone, oh my god, wow, I didn't even look at this. I'm up 25%. Oh no, 35% on FCX. And I think FCX is also up 3% tonight. Holy crap. Wow. There's a lot of demand coming into FCX. I mean, if you just take a look at the volume itself, the average volume line has been increasing for the past couple of weeks, even in the beginning of February here. And it seems like this is a very, very good buying area. And it seems like people really are targeting maybe even the 60s, that all-time high level that I've drawn for you guys earlier too. Where that level goes all the way back into the Great Financial Crash and also 2011 as well. So, you know, FCX, this one definitely has a lot of room left. I mean, this is moving a lot after hours. I don't know if there's any news regarding copper. But it seems like investment banks and institutions are all looking at, well, not all, but they're all increasingly looking at precious metals like copper and steel and aluminum as well. So these tariffs are something to be looking out for too, since they will affect prices, right? They will make prices surge, especially when it comes to metals like this, right? And you know, precious metals, especially when it comes to copper, steel, aluminum, etc., right? Especially when it comes to producers of those metals, they'll benefit the most from these tariffs, whether it be for a fortunate thing or unfortunate thing, depending on your perspective when it comes to tariffs. Alrighty, guys. Does anyone have any questions for me so far? Hopefully this is a very simple live stream. Again, as I've stated earlier, I really want to make sure that you guys are looking at this from a non-complex way, but a more simple way, because that's the only way to do it, right? And there's a reason why we were so pretty much very early on FCX, because I put FCX in the week of, well, the very first week of March, actually, in the official CFO Stream Watch report. And so, you know, unfortunately, I wasn't able to grab at these levels here, at this support level of 35 or 34, but still, very, very good play so far, right? On the very good breakout over $41. Okay, so please, based on this stream, do not forget that we should be looking at commodities into the end of this year, for this entire fiscal year of 2025. And it will be beneficial to do that because institutions are also, again, increasingly looking at the specific copper, or not copper, I can't speak today, guys. Precious metal names, right? And overall safe haven commodities like silver and gold. Okay, so again, precious metals and commodities are something that you guys should be looking at this fiscal year, and not as day trades, but as long-term positions, or at least swing trades or position trades. Now, if you guys are wondering what the difference is, well, swing trades usually mean either holding overnight or a couple of days or a couple of weeks. But when you're having a position trade, you're going to be holding that position for 3 to 6 months. So it's a very long-term swing trade, essentially. All right. Okay, so I'm glad that FCX is moving a lot overnight. Awesome. Things are gonna be looking good for those option contracts. I probably gonna be up maybe like 70% or 80% at that point if overnight gains hold. But we'll see. I'm excited with how my equity is moving as well. But yeah, guys, that's it for tonight. I mean, I really want to give you guys a little insight to what you guys should do, what to do, especially when equity markets have been absolutely hammered to the downside. Yes, there has been a good bounce so far, but if you guys are still scratching your head as to what you should be looking at, well, I highly recommend you guys to take a look at commodities, right? Especially for this entire fiscal year. You guys should not forget about commodities, especially these precious metals like copper, steel, aluminum, etc. And of course, the main two, right? The duo, the safe haven duo, gold and silver. Okay, so silver most definitely will be a great position trade to hold, maybe even having some option contract leaps, right? If you guys don't want to use equity, the leaps will most likely be the most fruitful with silver, since silver needs, well, not just needs, it requires patience, as seen on that monthly time frame that I shown you guys earlier, right? So, you know, are able to enjoy this stream tonight based on the information that I'm giving you guys, and most importantly, you guys are able to apply, right? You guys are able to apply the information that I'm giving you guys tonight, all right? Because that's the most important thing, and I really wish that you guys will always apply any type of crucial information that I give you guys like tonight. And if it does, make sure you guys try to join the CFO Swing and Watch report as well, because I give you guys these ideas and these you know, very good, thorough, top to bottom, top down analysis from a fundamental and technical perspective every single week on any ticker that I choose to look at for that specific trading week. And obviously I give you guys a full rundown in the overall markets as well. Okay, so again, if you guys are really wanting that navigation, that advice, the research every single trading week, make sure you guys become a part of the many readers of the CFO Swing and Watch report, and you guys can find the link down below to subscribe in the description box. And of course, if any one of you guys are willing to take a little bit of time out of your day to go on Instagram and search up at ChartsFocus1, hit follow, and message me about becoming a reader, you guys can receive a very nice discount code that you guys will most likely use, well, hopefully use and apply. So again, if you guys choose to do that, I'll be providing a very nice discount for your first 30 days. And I guarantee you guys, 1000%, you guys will not regret joining. All right, you guys will learn a lot. That's the first thing that you guys will be doing. Learning. You guys will learn the very moment you join, because I will also give you guys access to the private the previous private CFO Swing and Watch reports as well. All right, so again, you know, this is the type of information that I give you, that I give everyone of my readers and private CFO Discord members as well, every single trading week. All right, and on top of that, if you guys become a reader tonight, you guys will gain automatic access, full access to the private CFO Discord chat room as well. Alright, so that is it for tonight, guys. Please take a look at commodities for the rest of this fiscal year. I'm most likely going to be talking a lot more about commodities into the next couple of months, into the second half of this year as well, most importantly. And don't forget to take a look at the US dollar and read up on how currencies work if you guys don't know how currencies work. Or maybe I might just do a little tiny webinar about currencies, right? I need to brush up on some stuff as well, but I still have some basic knowledge on the foreign exchange markets and the overall currencies and how they work. Okay, so thank you guys so much for watching tonight, guys. Thank you guys so much for even joining, for hitting that like button down below, and just simply hearing me out all the way up into the end. Okay, so thank you guys so much for giving me some good vibes. Thank you, Joel, for commenting great stuff. Thank you. I'll see you guys on Thursday, this Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time or 11:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your night and good luck tomorrow.